Hello, and welcome to Abby Tyler's Healthy Living. My name is Abby Tyler. I'm your host, a family nurse practitioner, a health and wellness blogger, and a community volunteer. In here, we discuss evidence based health information regarding mind, body, and soul with a holistic emphasis. Thanks for joining me on this journey of health and wellness. Please enjoy the show. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our weekly show. My name is Abby. I'm your Healthy Living NP. How are you guys doing? Hope all is well. Is it hot enough for you out there? Ooh, perfect timing for our summer safety show. Please share the show. Please share the show. First of all, my disclaimer, I'm a provider, but I'm not your provider. So please do not make any changes without checking with your own provider first, okay? So please share the show. Please share the show. Please share the show. So let me get back here. So I always talk about glasses. If you wear, make sure you're getting your eyes checked once a year or as often as required by your ophthalmologist. Alrighty. So I'm gonna go in here and okay. So as you see, 5 tips for summer safety. Let me just go right into the show. Again, like I said, is it hot enough for you? I got my water bottle. I've been drinking water all day. And if you live in my neck of the woods, Rita's water ice. It's like you need that. It's like water ice, like Kool-Aid back home and all that. I think I just realized that it's not all over the country. So, they got a different flavor and all that. So, but anyways, so, like I said, is it hot enough for you? So, we'll be talking about 5 tips for summer safety. Again, please share the show. Please share the show. So, let's get right into the show there, okay? So, you want to be drinking as much water as much as possible. The sugary drinks, you can kind of like dip it in the water and all that too, but don't go too much with the sugary drinks. But drink a lot of water. Of course, if you have issues with your heart, like congestive heart failure and any disease that's supposed to restrict the amount of fluid that you take, make sure you speak to your provider first, okay? But food like watermelon and things like that is really good for it. Got a lot of water in there. Okay, so let's see here. Let's get in. So let's go to number one. Again, let's stay hydrated. I just talked about that. Stay hydrated, stay hydrated. You can have like a little alarm on your phone stating that, okay, let me see, I'm supposed to be drinking water right now. So it goes off and you drink some water, like a bottle of water, or so just trying to remind yourself. And sometimes you may not be thirsty and all that, especially for older people too. They may not be thirsty, so you really have to make sure that you're checking on your elderly relatives, and also for children too, and children who have some chronic illnesses. Make sure you get the water because they may not be able to ask for it. Okay. So what are you supposed to look for? Because you say, oh, wait a second, if I'm, uh, also to prevent, strokes, heat strokes, and also what are some of the things you want to look for, or somebody having a heat stroke? Because you could be out there, it's like 100 degrees right now, and they're telling you do not go out if you don't have to go out. Okay, and you start feeling a little different and you say, okay, well, maybe I just need to sit down for a little bit. But sometimes your body's overheating, and the things that you have to look for just in case, you have to call 911. Okay. So your body temperature, like over 103, you may not have a thermometer, but you can feel yourself heating up like really, really bad. Or you're looking at a family member or a friend who's like the colors changing, and or you can see them flushing their face, even if it's like the black person too, the colors flushing their face. So you can see that their usual presentation is not what they look like right now. Like in hot red, damp skin, you're sweating too much and all. Fast pulse, like you can just feel your wrist right here, okay? And you just feel like you can feel your heart beating, or sometimes you feel your heart beating out of your chest. All right, your left side now, okay? Headaches, dizziness. When you get to that point, it's like you should be calling 911 anyways. Confusion. You're talking and it's like, wait a second, you sound a little bit confused. Why your speech is a little slow? Also, you want to be making sure you're not having a rail stroke too. Okay, slur speech, loss of consciousness. If that person faints, you should have been calling 911 anyways. All right, heavy sweating again, cool, clammy skin. If you're diabetic, also this is very important that you're watching your numbers and taking your medication and taking your insulin or your pills. If you're supposed to be taking that, if your numbers are all over the place, check with your doctor, okay? Any nausea, vomiting, because it's like your body is like really rejecting the heat, and your body's not, it's supposed to be here, and your body's all over the place. So you start nausea and vomiting, you start cramping, your body start cramping up and all that. So making sure you call 911 right away. Call 911, call your family members, say this is what's going on. Again, please be checking with your elderly relatives. please check in with your other friends and people who have chronic illnesses that they may not realize that they're going through heat stroke. And if you have air conditioning on, please stay inside. If you don't have to be outside, please stay inside. Please stay inside. If you have the fan, sometimes the fan just kind of blow hot air at different places. Please call your maintenance people if you live in an apartment complex or where, and call and say, my air's not working and I can't be in here. Sometimes they can tell you places, let's say you can't afford to have your air on all day. You can go to the library, the local library, you can sit there all day. All right, as long as you're nice and quiet and all, they won't have any problem with it. You can go sit to the mall. Most of the malls, especially in my neck of the woods, it's like basically empty. So you can just sit there all day. Take your kids with you, take their video games and all that, and let them sit there and play and have fun. You can take some food with you too, because sometimes the mall can get a little expensive if you have to spend money on food. So take that expense at the mall. You can go to the shore, but just things that, a little less expensive than having to drive all the way to the shore. You can go to the mall and sit there. Some churches have places where you can go there too, like their recreational centers, the YMCA. I don't know, depends on if it's free or certain places, because they're supposed to, especially when it's like cold red, the city places where you live in certain cities, they have places where they have designated places where people who are like homeless and all that can come inside and stay away from that heat. So visit a friend's house, you can call and just say, can I come and visit? Some people are like, I want you to come to visit because you're just coming for some free air. But if you got close family members, I'm sure they won't mind. Okay. So just make sure you're doing that and drink, stay hydrated, stay hydrated, stay hydrated. Your urine is supposed to be nice straw color. It's not supposed to be dark, because if it's really dark, that means it's really, you were concentrated and you maybe have, especially if you're older too, you start getting confused, because then that's when you start running into urinary tract infection. So it's important that you drink and stay hydrated. Alrighty. Let's go into water safety. This is all for the rest of the summer now already. So water safety is mainly from the American Red Cross too. At this time of the year, children just want to jump into the water. If you have a pool in your backyard, or if you have a pool in your friend's house, or you go into the shore or wherever, it's very important, because people die from unintentional, it's like one of the leading causes of unintentional deaths every year, especially among children under 15s. Okay. And for those of us who are adults who cannot swim, your limitations. I would say, the YMCA have swim thing there. They have swim lessons where it's like reduced or really low price. And also you can go through there. Some places have it in the school, so you can also learn that. Churches or your religious institutions, check on that too, because most of them have, like I say, it's at a reduced price. And if you can afford it, get it done at wherever it is in your neck of the woods, okay, or your neighborhood. Okay, so again, here are some of the tips. Swimming in designated areas supervised by lifeguards. So if you live in somewhere and there's no lifeguard there, and you're like, oh, I can do it, they'll tell you swim at your own risk. It's always best to swim where the lifeguards are, okay? Because when you're there and something happens, they're there to help you. Because even if you have family members, so if that family member doesn't swim, can't swim and all that, that can be a disaster, right? Swim with a buddy. Do not swim alone, okay? Let's say you're going out in the evening and you say, I'm just going to go for a swim. Or even if I'm home, I'm just going to get into the pool. Make sure somebody knows that you're getting in the water, because anything can happen while you're in the water, even if you know how to swim, all right? So that way, at least that way, somebody will be looking after you, because they'll call you and say, wait a second, you say you're going to go swim and all that, you're sitting in the backyard, because let's say you're taking a little sip of water or a little alcoholic beverage or stuff like that, all right? And you go in the water, or something can happen. What if you have a heart attack while you're in the water? What if something happens when you're there? Anything can happen, okay? So it's not scaring you, but it's just preparing you. So anything happens, somebody can be there to help you. All right. Don't leave young children unattended near the water. Don't leave young children attended in the pool. Okay. Most of the time, when you have a pool, depending on your neighborhood and your restrictions and regulations, you're supposed to have a fence around the pool. Little kids don't understand that. They see the water, they want to crawl to it and play. If you have little kids and you have a pool in the backyard, please stay awake, especially if you could be sitting there. I'm going to go take a little break and take a little nap. And next thing you know, this little one's like crawling outside or going outside to go and play. Like minutes can cause a disaster, okay? And something that no parent should ever have to go through. And especially also if you're watching somebody else's child and you have a pool at your house, you don't ever want to go through the rest of your life knowing that it was because of you that child went into the water, all right? And if you take them to the shore, also make sure that they're you swimming to where the lifeguards are over there. They're staying focused and all. And also when you're in the water, the water kind of dips you all the way over. So it's important that you're watching there and saying, stay right there so I can see you. All right. Sometimes it's best when you're there, put like a bathing suit or something else that kind of, because that's your child. You can say, okay, let me look in there and know that's my child already. Especially when you go in like a group of people too. It's important that you guys have something that you know where it is. Okay, and try to check up in like every 5 or 10 minutes or so, especially if they're much younger. The older ones, we might want to go swim later on, after like later in the night, or lovers want to go out and swim under the moonlight. There are no lifeguards again, so please be careful about that. All right. Avoid distraction. Make sure they have their life jacket on. Some people be like, "Oh my God, you're such a big baby." It doesn't matter. Just put your life jacket on, even if you're an adult. Put your life jacket on. They have ones where it doesn't even really look like life jackets. You can go on Amazon and get that. It's all about your life, saving your life and your kid's life. Who cares whatever anybody else says? All right. And make sure you check in live if you have one from last year, make sure you check it this year to make sure it's still functional. All right. So don't go running out there wearing the same thing for last year. So have that on, and don't say, okay, I have the little noodle thing. They can hold on to that. I don't trust that too much either. So make sure they have the little life jacket on. Alrighty. And let's get to, if you're watching, just turning in right now, please share the show. Please share the show. We're talking about summer safety, 5 tips for summer safety. Okay. It's not going to be a long show. All right. Because everybody's out there enjoying food safety. We're going out to our cookouts. We're going out to wedding cookouts, every kind of cookout, graduation cookouts, and all of that, baby shower cookouts. And just the fact that you're going out having things at your house, little people coming over and all, it's important that you realize that if you're going to have food out, you have to make sure that you follow food safety too. Okay. Serious illness can result from undercooked foods or food handling. And also if it's not like properly placed on the table to where your potato salad should always be in a cold dish or have some ice underneath there. Foods that are like jollof rice or gravy and things like that can go bad very easily. Making sure you have your warmer underneath there. If you're going to be cooking, cutting meats and things like that, make sure you're washing your hands before you go touch the vegetables, because you can be transferring bacteria from one thing to the next. And all of that, you can say, oh yeah, I did that before. Nobody ever died. Nobody ever did, and all that. But you can go to the hospital. You can have some severe abdominal pain, stomach pains and all, where you need IV fluids, you need IV antibiotics, and sometimes people die from it. All right. So it's important in your bathroom when you have make sure you have hand sanitizers always at the front there, and paper towel too. In your bathroom, make sure you have paper towels. Don't put your fancy towels up there, because most people don't wash their hands properly. And I wouldn't be washing my hands and wiping my hands on those towels anyways, because again, people don't wash their hands properly, and they're putting all their fecal material on there or their urine material on there. And next thing you know, you're sitting there like from hepatitis A. And again, you can really suffer severe consequences from that. So just have paper towel there, especially if you're having a party that day. Sometimes it's not really expensive from Walmart. Just have that there. People can just stick that, wipe their hands, put it in the trash can. Okay, don't fancy towels. Don't do that. Nobody should be doing fancy towels anymore anyway, unless if it's a bathroom that nobody uses and only you use. But usually it's like paper towel. Okay. And again, let me see here. Okay, I did that. So making sure your potato salad, anything that needs to be kept cold should be kept cold. Anything that need to be kept warm should be kept warm. And all the handling spoons, the serving spoons, wipe it off a little bit, because we're touching it, and kind of just wipe it around a little bit. And also when with children there, to watch them, because they're hot foods and they're reaching over, if they're stirring themselves, try to serve their little kids, okay, especially when they're like eye level or face level with the trays and all. Watch your kids, okay. Alrighty, let me see here. I'll go into the next one. I'll answer all your questions later. Let me just see. I'm just going to comment here. Okay. Let me see. Sorry. Oh my God. And so thanks for the safety, Miss Abby. Always enjoying listening and learning from your platform. Thank you so much for being one of my loyal followers. Thank you so much. Again, if you're just joining us, this 5 tips for summer safety. It is hot right now. So make sure you got your bottled water around all the time, okay? Again, of course, if you have any diseases, chronic illness that they tell you not to drink too much water, talk to your doctor first. Okay, so let's go back to our thing here. And Also, this one here is protect your children. This is the time of the year where kids are going to be going over to spend the night over at a friend's house, relatives' house, and all that. Please protect your children. If your children don't feel like going, if you say, I don't want to go to their house, I don't want to go spend any time at this person's house, don't feel bad. Okay, there's some children who don't like to leave their home anyways, like they're very, very homebodies. They like to stay home. And but there's sometimes you have to just like figure and say, you know what, there's a reason why this child doesn't want to go to somebody's house. All right, because maybe that person could be an abuser. Okay, or that person, not anything's possible. I'm not saying, oh my goodness, don't talk about this person, don't talk about that person. They may not be that only person in home. They could have other people come to visit you. And so you have young kids around who are vulnerable and all that. Please be careful about that. Most people don't like their children going over, and you really have to know most of the people that come to that house. Also, some people can have guns in their house, and they may have a gun somewhere where it's not protected, because most of the time it's supposed to be in the gun cabinet or wherever it is it kept, and it's supposed to be locked at all times. Some people can be a little careless about that, and they may not have it locked away too. So you want to prevent a tragedy. Again, like I said, making sure that you check in with your kids. You feel comfortable there. You can say, okay, I'm sending my daughter or my to go to her aunt's. Okay, this is some you can say, well, it's the same sex. You never know that anybody can be an abuser. All right, so if you just kind of feel the vibe, if your kids feel like I don't want to go there, listen to them. And also family members who like hugging on other kids or come and sit on my laps, there should be no reason why somebody should be sitting on anybody's lap already at this point. Okay, so just keep an eye on it. I'm not telling you to be paranoid, but be careful, because most of these things come out later on when they're adults, and they start telling you, you know what, when I went to auntie's house, when I went to uncle's house, when I had this is what happened. And then you sit there and live with a lifetime of regret. Okay, so please watch them, trust the people that you're sending them to, and all that. Okay. And last but not least is vacation preparation. Ready? So for those of us who, some people are on Facebook, and they go in, somebody, so I'm going for vacation, and they post that. When am I going? You post when, excuse me. They post when they're going, they post where they're going, they post who they're going with. And sometimes they're posting like, okay, we're all going, the whole family's going. So other people are reading, and they're like, oh, okay, good. So that's when people who want to be thieves, or people who are thieves, they find that opportunity to say, okay, they're not going to be home around this time, this time. I know, because some people also, they may not post it, but when they go on vacation, they're posting everything every day, pictures and all that. I have nothing against that, but I'm just saying, making sure that your house is safe. Okay, you can have somebody who's in the neighborhood who can come and look out for you. A family member who's lives in your area can come and check your house out all the time. Okay. But going on the health side now is making getting sure you're getting enough medications already when you go on your vacation. So you can call your doctor's office and say, I'm going to be going vacation for 2 weeks. I'm going to be going this place, especially if you're going out of town, or let's say you're going out of the country. Make sure you have enough medications. You go in there for 1 month. Ask for 90 days, because you never know what could happen if you go out of the country and you want to have those medications. At least if something happens and you're delayed there, you have your medications. Narcotics. Some narcotics cannot be renewed before the time it's supposed to be renewed. Now, I mean, like your pain medicine, your anxiety medicine, and things like that. So let them know ahead of time that I'm going to be going out of the hospital, out of the country, or I'm going to be going far away. Can I have my narcotics renewed ahead of time? Sometimes we can have a little bit of leeway and say, okay, we can renew it. And the reason, because again, we can't just renew narcotics if it's not time to be renewed. And the pharmacy may not dispense the medication either. So talk to your doctor long ahead of time. Children medications, the asthma medications, your sleep apnea things, and all. Get all your get all your hoses, everything, your mask, all of that. Get all that ahead of time. Okay. Kids who have other issues, handicapped kids who need other things, like maybe in case of emergency, like your EpiPens and things like that for allergies. Have that with you at all times. All right. And you want to check with the airline too to see what you can carry with you, because sometimes, and just in case you get stopped by the police and you got all this narcotics with you, it's important that just check with your local people first. Okay. And get your preventative medications like your ibuprofen, your acetaminophen. I'm not calling the brand name right now. So get that, because you may, run into headaches. If you go out of the country, you may need that. Check and see if you may need some antibiotics, depending on what you have, because you may get sick while you're there. You may need some antibiotics. array, steroids, and things like that. Check your insurance. Make sure your insurance will cover you when you go out of the country, when you go, let's say you go on a cruise or stuff like that, because you could be going outside of the American jurisdictions and all. So check and see if your insurance covers that, and how much extra you may have to pay for if you need like extra travel insurance, because they have it's not that expensive. So check on that before you go. Don't You can say, oh, you know what? I just leave my own with God. That's also nice too, but hey, I'm just giving you, what I would tell my patients. All right. And make sure you have a copy of your immunizations too. All right. So they might say, okay, do you have this, and all that too? Some countries still require certain things. So make sure you have that. Again, like I said, be careful announcing things on social media. If you're going to be going a long trip and you have swelling in your legs or you have some heart issues, ask and see if you need to wear some pressure stockings, because that's supposed to help your blood just, then filtering as you're moving around. Because when you're sitting down for about 6 to 8 hours at a time, and that blood is not going all through your body, it's just like sitting in the bottom of your legs. That can break away, that can form a little clot, break away when you get up, and then go into your heart, or your lungs, or your brain, and then we're talking about something really disastrous. Okay, so see if you need to wear pressure stockings. You can also wear ACE wrap, or you can wrap it around your legs. That also kind of constricts everything and keep your blood from pooling, and causing the clot. All right. When you go in somewhere, know where the closest hospital is to. If you go on vacation, if out of town in another country and stuff, know where the closest hospital is. I'm not saying all this to scare you. These are all things that they give you to tell you when you go in those places. Know where the closest hospital is, because especially if you have like a chronic illness and something you may need to go to the emergency room, know where the closest hospital is. All right. And also when you go, if you go out of the country and God forbid something happens, again, that travel insurance, they will have to stabilize you before they can take you to another country. Okay, you're not just gonna having a heart attack or a stroke, and they're just gonna grab you and put you in the plane, in the air, or their helicopter, because the helicopter is going to take a while. The paramedics going to have to come. They're going to have to stabilize you. If they cannot stabilize you there before they move you over, and sometimes they will have to treat you in that local hospital before they can even send you to another hospital. So have all that information, have all your health information. You can have that on your phone, and have that like in a secure folder. So if anything to happen, you just tell them, okay, look at my phone and see, this is my medical history. Have you had this before? Let's see what you're doing, what medications you're taking. Because especially, let's say if you're taking like a blood thinner and things like that, and they have to cut you open, all right, or give you some medications that's supposed to stop that clot. You want to make sure that you're not on the kind of blood thinner long ahead of time, because everything is time. Time equals tissue. Okay, so there's a certain amount of times allotted that they have to treat you before you suffer irreparable damage. So it's important that you know that, have that on your phone, especially for your children, for your spouse, for your mother, your elderly relatives, or younger kids, and all. Make sure you do that. Okay. And then also, a little Fido and Fifi, your little dogs and your little cats and all. Make sure you keep them also hydrated, because again, they can tell you, but sometimes you can tell when they're panting. And please don't forget to bring them inside, because sometimes you're so busy running around, you may leave them out and they're panting, and some dogs have died in the heat too. So it's important. Also, I forgot to say, please, 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 whatever you do, if you have young kids, and you have very young kids and you're taking them different places, please check in the back of your car before you get out of the car. Please check in the back of the car before you get out of the car. People are saying sometimes it's good to just take your cell phone, especially if you're going around with the children. You can put the cell phone in the back, because most people won't forget the cell phone. They'll be like, oh my God, where's my phone? I know it's a bad habit, but at the same time, it's something that's going to save their lives. Okay. So you can put it in the back of the car, but also make sure, and most cars now, they're kind of designed to where when you're getting out of the car, they give you, please check the back seat, because there's anything on the back seat, it will tell you, please check the back seat. Don't ignore that. All right. Because it will tell you right away. Sometimes it's not as loud as they'll, please put your seatbelt on, but please check that. Please check that. Please, 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 please. Let's not hear any of that this year, about this little kid was left in the car, or hearing this and all. And especially also, if you don't usually travel with those kids, that says you're like your niece or nephew or somebody else's child, that is so much more important. Okay. Please check the back seat. Please check the back seat. Please check the back seat. All right. Even just get, and the good thing about it, even if you're not carrying any child with you anywhere, just get in the habit of checking the back seat. So that way, at least that way, you remember, you can tell your friend, did you check the back seat? Did you check the back seat? Just get in the habit of that. Did you check your back seat today? And they might say, yeah, well, I don't have any children in the back of my car. What are you asking me for? Just get in the habit of saying that. Please check the back seat. All right. Check your back seat or put a little star on your car, the dashboard. Check the back seat. All right. Please, let's not, have any child die because of that this year. All right. So I again for my 5 tips for summer safety. Didn't want to make it too long. And I see I'm going already. Oh my God. But make sure you stay hydrated, get some water inside of you. And if you live in my neck of the woods and read the water ice, I stopped to get some today. Oh my God, it was like burning hot. But stay hydrated, stay hydrated. We went in this weather, right? We went through the heat, we went through the rain. It was raining forever, it was cold forever. And then summer just came like a bat out of hell. And like, I'm here. So, but anyways, thank you all for watching. If you're watching now, I say thank you. And if you watch later, I say thank you as well. Please give me a like. Please give me a like. Facebook finally sent me a note saying that they're going to distribute my videos more now because I'm putting a high quality content. So I'm depending on you guys to kind of help me along the way. Please, 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 just share it. Just share it. Other people might use it too. It might help somebody. Okay. So please share it. Again, the algorithm. Alrighty. So I'm on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then I do Abby's Daily Dose during the week. I know I haven't been doing it that much because it's, get a little busy. But and I'll probably be taking a break, but I'll still be doing Abby's Daily Dose. Everybody's kind of busy during the summer now, so kind of slow down a little bit and then start again. But thanks for watching. I don't see any questions or comment there. You can always comment later on, ask me a question later on, and I usually go back and read for comments or questions and all. So thank you all for your love and support. I'll see you soon. Stay safe, stay happy, and it's summertime in America. I know there are other places like Australia that go into winter. Summertime for us. Okay. So thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.